Hey everyone, today we're making an easy to make pad thai noodles right at home. You'll be making delicious pad thai if you follow this video recipe. So one of the most important ingredients in making the pad thai sauce is a tamarind. So we have a lime-sized ball of tamarind here. We're going to pour hot boiled water over it and let it soak for a while before we start. The next must-have ingredient for making the pad thai, of course, is the rice noodles, also known as pad thai noodles or pho noodles. These are dry noodles that are available in most Asian grocery stores. You need 200 grams of this. Next, we need these small red shallots. It's a key ingredient in many Thai dishes. The Asian shallot grows in bulbous clusters. The individual cloves resemble oversized garlic cloves with pointed, tapered ends. The flavor is sweeter and milder than the common white or yellow onion. And the red shallot is popular throughout South Asia, and these are the most frequent type of onions to be used in Thai cuisine. Notice that we don't use the large red onion, which also sometimes comes in clusters or segments, but we use the small one, as you can see here, for reference. So we need 4 of these shallots, and we're going to peel them. So you can see the segments once they're peeled. We also need 4 large cloves of garlic. Add the peeled ingredients to a small chopper, and we're going to finely chop this. So that's the shallot and garlic there. It makes about 3 to 4 tablespoons once chopped. So by now the tamarind has soaked nicely, and if you give it a good mix with your washed hands, you can remove the seeds and all the fiber to get a nice tamarind solution. Next, we have 3 eggs, and we're going to beat that with a little bit of salt and pepper to taste and set that aside as well. Another ingredient we'll be using is pressed or extra firm tofu, 1 block, about 300 grams. If you can find fried tofu, you can use that instead because we need to fry it anyway. If you buy the extra firm tofu, you need to deep fry it first before chopping it up into small diced pieces like this. Next, we have 2 ingredients that are not always easy to find: sweet pickled radish as well as the dried shrimp. These are authentically used in pad thai, but we're not using them since they're often difficult to find. So first we're going to make the pad thai sauce. For this, add 3 to 4 tablespoons of that tamarind solution that we just made to a small bowl. To this, add 3 tablespoons of fish sauce as well. Next, something that could face a little bit of criticism, we're adding 2 tablespoons of ketchup. Now, don't knock it till you try it. Ketchup actually has a very similar flavor profile to the tamarind. And since we're not using, or we don't have, the sweet pickled radish, it does sort of make up for that. You can omit this if you prefer. You can also use oyster sauce instead. But I like my pad thai not so fishy tasting or seafoody tasting. So that's why I prefer to use the ketchup, and you can't really taste it in the final pad thai. It tastes completely authentic. Next, to add sweetness, add 2 tablespoons of light brown sugar or palm sugar if you have it, as well as a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper powder. Give this a mix, and I only added 3 tablespoons of the tamarind solution to begin with. I always like to give it a taste at the end and add a tablespoon or a little bit more at the end. And that, my friends, is our easy pad thai sauce. Set that aside. Next, we have 300 grams of boneless chicken. I've cut it into very thin pieces. And to this, add 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce as well as 1 teaspoon of cornstarch or corn flour. Give it a good mix and set that aside as well. Next, we need to start cooking our noodles. For this, just follow the package instructions. It's very important not to overcook these noodles because they have to go through the stir-frying process in the end. So here, what I do is I boil water in a saucepan, and when the water is boiling, I add the noodles and turn off the heat and keep the noodles covered for exactly 4 minutes, after which I drain the noodles quickly and rinse them under running water. That helps to stop the cooking process immediately so that you don't end up with mushy noodles after cooking in the stir fry. Now we're going to start cooking. For this, we need 3 tablespoons of oil to begin with. Add this to a nice large wok. I'm using a carbon steel wok used for Chinese and Thai cooking. It's best, and of course using a gas stove is the best as well. We're going to add the chicken once the oil is hot and just keep stir frying it until the chicken is no longer pink. Once the chicken is opaque, keep stirring it till it looks kind of cooked. And you know when it's done when you cut through and you don't meet any resistance. When it cuts through just like butter, you know the chicken is done, and you can remove it from the wok. And I forgot to mention, if you don't want chicken, you can also use prawns. You can marinate similarly, and you can cook the prawns first and remove it from the wok. Or you can also use prawns and chicken if you like that. Add a little bit more oil to the wok as needed. Add the shallots and garlic, and we're going to stir fry this. Add a little bit more oil if you feel anything's catching on to the wok. And also remember that when you're cooking stir-fried noodles or any Asian dish like this, in Chinese and Thai cooking, cook on a high flame, as high as possible. It always enhances the flavor. So once the shallots and the garlic is nice and fragrant, add in the fried tofu, give it a stir to absorb the flavors, and then we can add the cooked rice noodles. Separate the noodles quickly and toss them really quickly on the high heat to incorporate all that garlic and shallot flavored oil evenly. Distribute everything evenly and get those noodles fried up a bit, and then we can remove it from the wok. Once again, add a little bit more oil and return the fried chicken. We're just going to move it around in case the chicken has been sitting out for a while. We just want to heat it back up and then move it to the side of the pan very quickly. Add in the Thai chili at this stage. I'm just adding 1 Thai chili broken into 2, and then we can add in the beaten egg mixture. Another important stage of making the pad thai, so try to pay attention to this step. Just let the egg set around the sides a bit and then fold it in. Set it around the sides again and then fold it in. Keep doing this, keep folding it in until most of the egg is scrambled. Like this, a soft scramble. And then we can just let it sit for a while because you want to get it a little brown on the sides. So once you're starting to see a little bit of brown color, now you can scrape the wok and add in the chicken and just mix everything together vigorously. At this time you can really start to smell that fried egg, and then you know you're done. At this stage, return those fried noodles and again quite quickly stir in everything so that everything is mixed thoroughly, the chicken, the egg, and the noodles. At this stage, we can add in our prepared pad thai sauce. Add in all of that prepared sauce and give it a toss once again. As you can see, since the noodles were cooked perfectly without overcooking them, they haven't gone mushy at all in the cooking process here, and they're still al dente. I always like to add a dash of soy sauce towards the end and half a cup of chopped chives. This is very important in the flavoring of pad thai. If you don't have chives, you can use spring onion greens, but I prefer the chopped chives. Stir that in again. Just a little bit more soy sauce, I like that, and we're almost done. Now you can switch off the heat and add fresh bean sprout, about half a cup for the entire dish, or you can add it over each plate. We also have some roasted peanuts. I removed the skin and just pounded it till you get a finely chopped texture. And we've plated our pad thai noodles. We're going to add some Thai chili pepper. This is dried Thai chili pepper flakes. This is almost always served with the pad thai, as well as a little bit of those crushed roasted peanuts and a wedge of lime. Your delicious homemade pad thai is ready. It's really good. Try the recipe. You don't have to have all the ingredients that are sometimes hard to find, but you can still make an awesome, delicious pad thai. I hope you enjoyed the video recipe. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.